I do. I get to talk to dental leaders from all over the country, and what I'm hearing more and more is that they say that they are one person at work, and then when they get home they can truly become themselves. Does that sound familiar? What if there are several people in your practice and on your team doing the exact same thing? If that's the case, who are they being when they're in your office? Being someone you're not for a full workday, multiplied times the number of work days in a week, multiplied times the number of work weeks in a year adds up to 1,600 hours per year being someone that you're not. That's just not being authentic. Not to mention, if your team isn't being genuine and real at work, won't it affect the inter-office relationships and the relationships that they have with your patients? How can you foster and cultivate an environment of authenticity in your practice? You can start by becoming aware of these 3 areas as individuals and together as a team. Number 1, what are your values? I don't mean what do you value most when you're at work. I mean, what do you value? Period. This is a great discussion to have with your team, and I guarantee that you'll learn things about one another that you've never knew before. Valuable things about the very core of these beautiful human beings you work with every day. Making a list is a great way to start. Some may have long lists, others may have it narrowed down to 2 or 3 things that they value most. This is a great pathway to self-awareness, and the list could change from time to time. If someone's having a hard time narrowing down their values, here's a tip. Ask them what gets them angry, what makes them agitated. Most likely, the exact opposite of this is their core value. For example, if you find yourself getting agitated or angry when it takes someone a really long time to tell their story or explain a problem, that most likely means that you have a strong value of efficiency, of time, or of being factual. Number 2, trust your intuition. Those gut feelings that something just isn't right, or you feel out of a balance, or when you get agitated or angry, most likely means that you're operating outside of what is in alignment with your values. When that happens, stop, take a breath, notice what you're doing at that moment. How are you feeling? What would make it better? That conscious noticing act will cultivate self-awareness. It's also a great area of discussion with your team. Talk about it, learn from it, get curious. Number 3, keep an open mind. It's hard to stifle authenticity when you try to see people, things, and the world around you from all different perspectives. The key is to do that without judgment. When we are trapped in judgment of ourselves and of others, we establish some pretty tough limitations that are very, very hard to break through. We're not at our best. We shut down that vulnerable, authentic, wonderful person we are on the inside. This is not touchy-feely or woo-woo voodoo. This is what's at the core of every human being we meet. Strengthening our authenticity muscle will lead to deeper connections with the people we come into contact with every day. Our families, our coworkers, our patients. The sky's the limit. Try it.